the Kestrel here unless they want to pick Petal with the Ringo.
I'm very surprised that SK have gone so far away from the melee laners. Like, that's what Kvalfar's been known for this season, especially. They've played so many of them, but now this week they haven't touched one at all. They have yet to play a single melee laner, and they may not get an opportunity to if they can't find a win here.
It's a very good point. SK Gaming do have their backs against the wall in the series. G2 Esports now thinking about their final pick on B side here. They still need either a captain or a jungler. It's going to be an alpha lock-in.
Yeah, Alpha could work, but again, Finn is pretty good. He can block the Prime Directive. He's pretty big. He can get in the way. He can stun her. He can give the fortified health. Kesh could also set up.
It seems like a lot of teams are jumping on the Finn bandwagon, and for good measure as well, I think.
There's a lot of ebb and flow with Finn. I've definitely seen him at the top of the ladder. Definitely seen him more towards like a C rank hero. It really kind of depends on what, how much aggression is coming out, right? Because if you want to be aggressive early, you typically don't see these Finns. They might be very defensive. They might be great late game, but early, like we saw a slew of Lyras, Adagios, right? Double hewers, right? We've seen the fortresses. We've seen these Captain Lances, Captain Glaives, but poor old Finn, yeah, he's coming back. It's his time to shine again.
Oh wow, that damage onto Hundor early forces the potion as well out of him. And where's Tyra's? Sorry, where's the? Where is Keanu Nakoa and Dark? Yeah, Tyra's is the one throwing the glimmer shots out. Where's the rest of G2 at the moment? Hundor's just being left to his own devices here. He's not got the Book of Eulogies, which we sometimes see Voxes start if they're intending on going down a lifesteal route, which means that the potions he's going to start having to chug through them. He has got 3 in his pocket as he started armor, but that's some good early aggression coming out of SK.
Yeah, they get, a potion out of it. They try to curb down the farm a bit there of Hundor, but ultimately I'm not really convinced that too much is going to be coming of it. But aggression can definitely set a little bit of a seed of fear in your opponent's eyes. If they're consistently feeling like they're on the back foot, well, maybe they will actually start playing like they are.
Yeah, no, I think SK definitely a team that can turn things around as well if they feel like they're on their back foot. So, like everyone, almost all of the VG8 teams are very capable of recognizing when they need to step up their level of gameplay due to the fact that they're perhaps not performing at what they expect they should be able to.
Now, just like what Sweet Generous there did mention, Finn with a double range, I'm actually okay with this comp. I really do like this idea here as well. The sieging capabilities is, early on is something to be feared here, especially with the Ringo, with that CP, Kestrel, get a few crystal bits on top of her, and like all of a sudden the creep wave evaporates. K-Val will get the last hits, but the incidental damage, the sieging on top of the turret there as well, every little bit goes a long way. And if G2 decide enough is enough, they engage, they have to get through jetpacks in order to make something happen out of it.
It does make me question though if Finn is good enough to peel away an alpha that Dark Potato is bringing to the game here. Obviously the Prime Directive just gives so much gap closing ability to the alpha, and whilst Finn can lay down polite companies for the fortified health to try and prevent some of the burst damage comes out, the Quibble sometimes a little bit slow, and alpha can just jump and dance around a fight.
Jetpacks is going to have to be really predictive of where some of these are going to be landing. Like the Quibbles for sure. You get that stun, it's a big stomp up of that momentum there from Dark Potato. Really breaks up the combos. But if he misses, yeah, absolutely, there's not going to be a real big impact from jetpacks there. As well, like if Alpha or Tyrus, they get jumped and they just kind of like a beeline for base and they leave jetpacks on the front line, that's not going to be doing them any favors either. So you really do have to trust in jetpacks, that fortified health, and trust him to land the Quibbles here to stop up Dark Potato. But in general, no, I would say that on average, I think a Finn could easily get outplayed by an Alpha.
Yeah, okay. So something to keep eyes on as G2 put all 3 members into the lane. SK rotate down to get themselves that fountain early. Tyra's starting to build towards his damage item. He's going to get caught a little bit by Dark Potato. Tries to snipe away the Treant, but won't be able to get the heal from it as Hundor secures it. Jetpacks is pushed up, but he's on top of a scout trap here. And it looks like G2 are going to charge forward into the lane, chase him back to where he belongs.
No, just making sure that there's nothing fishy. Like, Cavalvar did not leave lane whatsoever on that one, so they know that the back should be safe. They pushed off up against Tyras, and they were notified of the Jetpack's kind of aggression right there. And some nice scout trap placement early on, and the fact that it didn't get popped either by Jetpacks, definitely a little bit more of a blessing going over to G2, since they still have that early warning detection system for any possible invades.
Yeah, a lot of itemization into trying to spot out this CP Kestrel, and it makes a lot of sense. Wouldn't be surprised if we see an early contraption as well from Kiana Nakoa, who, you know, a lot of people have been going into contraption, even if it's like not necessary to spot out stealth, just because of the cooldown it gives you. But this siege comes forward. Kiana Nakoa is in that active camo, does take huge damage, but he wants to go forward. He wants to lay down the hurt. Maybe a misstep. He's still alive, just about, and here comes Dark Potato into the backline, going to force the fountain out of Jetpacks, but he goes down. Calculated damage there from Kiana Nakoa, just knew his limit and was able to get away. Hundor, wow. Okay, I say calculated, but that was just a little bit lucky there, I think, for Hundor.
Oh, one shot? Nope. Oh, that was really a game of milliseconds on that one there, Dowsy. But I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Cavalifar, even in game number 1, now game number 2, is almost feeling like a non-existent force. Like last round, he was with that Vox, and he couldn't seem to really get past the front line. This game, like that fight, there was so much kill potential, I think, across from both sides. There should have been like 3, 4, 5 people dead by the end of it there, but Cavalvar feels like he's almost playing scared today, which is very strange and not something I like to say, because typically he does really put forward those results, but the Vox game 1, now game 2, Ringo just not able to seal some of these kills feels very strange to me.
Well, he has got himself the Sorrow Blade now, and is itemizing towards a Tornado Trigger next, and so there's definitely chances left in this game for Cavalifar to step up. When we saw his Ringo earlier, it was definitely very impactful against Fnatic earlier on in the day, so there's still time left, windows of opportunity, we just have to wait for them. But Dark Potato's coming back in, another Impale lands onto Tyras, and he gets silenced. Oh, he gets destroyed, and Cavalifar just can't quite find the killing kill, the killing hit is what I meant to say there, onto Kiana Nakoa. Once more, Kiana Nakoa just gets away, and actually SK have to be a bit careful that they don't get Tower Dove.
Dark Potato, I think, really wanted to go tower dive in there, but one shot hits.
One shot does hit. Oh, good. Forced to call Cavalifar, though. They're just going to turn straight onto him, and there's times when you think to yourself, I don't mind getting pulled in, because it's just going to put me closer to where I want to be.
And Tyra's now here to fill the void, but like Hunter's really been working on this tower, and that's Dark Potato.
Oh, he's got the Termination Protocol, so he's going to survive in here, and just damage onto Jetpacks. Can they blow him up is the question. He gets slowed down, Polite Company Quibble, but it's not enough to find the kill. Tyra's going to throw the Glimmer Shots out, but he's not in range. Boots up in 5, but can't risk running into the middle of the fight. So once more, another aggressive play from G2 rewarded. 4-0, a turret, and they're almost 3,000 gold up in the standings.
So, Cavalifar died in that one. It wasn't really his fault. Jetpack's bringing people in. It just looked like the Quibble really didn't connect when it needed to. Not that it's a stun Quibble at all. Like level 8, you might expect something more of that combo. But Cavalifar dies. Tyras comes in. Jetpacks dies. Tower goes down. Tyras just can't clinch the kill. So, SK, as bad as this might look for SK, on the flip side, it's just, again, masterful moves from G2. They're juggling out their health, and they are maximizing their damage output without going down.
The Amplifier Brew going to land onto Hundor on the backline. Does have poison shifts, so a couple of water attacks will certainly go his way in trying to heal himself up. But you're right, you know, and it kind of comes back to this Finn point that we highlighted earlier in the game, talking a bit about win conditions of both teams. Finn is... You have to be on point. You have to almost play prediction, especially against this Alpha. You know, in the previous game, Alpha was continuously shut down by the, I guess, masterful play from G2 to play in areas of the map that suited their team composition, and then just the amount of peel they had. This is strange. Jetpacks, you know, his contract play is one of its own. It's something very odd, but he's just picked up a Dragon Blood contract at 9 minutes into the game. I don't know what to make of that.
Well, a lot of these fights, again, are coming down to very, very small amounts of health left on G2. If the Dragon contract can, break the bank, perhaps that's what they need. But it's such a small amount of damage. It's such a small amount of slow here at the 9-minute mark. It definitely has a much more of an impact earlier on.
Yeah, I guess the amount of times that Kvalify need one more auto attack to be able to secure a kill, perhaps that's the he's like, oh, I just need 10 extra damage, guys, 10 extra damage, and that would have been kills. So Jetpax is like, gotcha, buddy. But he's finished his Tornado Trigger now, so he's got attack speed, he's got crit, and now we'll have to see if it's enough to really push SK over the mark and find their first kill of this game.
And I feel that the Tornado Trigger is actually a reactionary kind of pickup. They don't have the time to build up a breaking point.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit reactionary. I think it makes sense because if Kvalify was to be the one, oh wow, that's just Hundor going to be
blocked.
Very good block, crucial block. If those abilities hit at the same time, I could just imagine Hundor clenching, but a bit of time given to G2 to react, and they react perfectly. If Kvalify is the one being dived upon by an Alpha, then it's very hard for him to survive in that scenario. So the Tornado Trigger makes more sense, a bit more bang for your buck early rather than a sustained fight.
All right, so we got a little bit more buildability here from SK with the War Treads pickup, but Keanu, he's going to be looking to solidify their positional advantages that they keep seeming to accrue, and he has himself that contraption. So it's good cooldown reduction there as well, more impales, more Githians, but it's also going to be affording a lot of vision, a lot of flares, and that's going to start creating like a wall that SK is going to have to either break through, or the wall will actually start advancing, and they're going to have much more constricted movements, much more constricted farming as G2 just continues to mine up the map.
I'm actually interested to see if Kvalify optimizes into a Bone Saw soon. He is going for more crit, so looking for more crit damage. He has himself that foot as well as a heavy steel, so that's two different items that you can build into. They don't build into the same, but Bone Saw's kind of necessary. Like, look at Dark Potato. He's already got a metal jacket. Not even going Atlas on the Alpha. Metal jacket. Very interesting. Hundor's also got some armor, obviously level 1, tier 1 from level 1 when he purchased it, but will itemize into probably a level jacket of his own. And Finn, or Lance, sorry, very naturally tanky as well. Not as much as he used to be, but certainly up there. I kind of feel like Kvalify needs the Bone Saw if he's going to really break through some of this armor.
Well, I have to see if that's going to be like his 4th item to go through, but all right, here's an engage.
Yeah, Quibble, 3-man stun, that's huge for G2, and Hundor just about gets out. One shot comes through, it lands onto Dark Potato, and no termination protocol to keep him alive. He will reboot, but will he sustain? Will he get away is the question. Kvalify certainly going to throw this Hellfire Brew out and look for a kill. It's going to land onto Hundor, but the reflex comes out. Crucible from Keanu to stop the burn. And look at Tyrus, he wants to find a kill, but once more, G2 down to the wire health bars at almost depleted. They managed to escape with their butts.
Intact, which is a very good state of your butt, because you always wanted to be intact right there, Dowsy. But, I mean, that one shot basically
detachable
broke it.
butt sounds cool.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie.
all right. I'm going to ask you about that one off stream, but G2, they had their offense broken by the one shot right there. Like, without that termination protocol, Dark Potato did not have that revive ready, he did not have that damage threat, and that's really a big reason why G2 had to run from that one.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's just, and that quibble from Jetpacks was so influential in just halting G2's ability. They're a very mobile team, G2, but if they ever get caught, their amount of damage that can be chucked their way is huge. Okay, so where are we at? What's the state of play? It's 4,000 gold, 5,000 gold for G2 at the moment. Another one shot comes out, but this time eaten up by Keanu Nakoa, the man that you really want to be taking those in the face if anyone has to. In a minute, we do see the Kraken come. Kvalify, he's almost at his third. He has hit his 3rd damage item now. Heavy still in his pocket. So is that going to be like a breaking point last item for him?
Late game, like if they start actually turning some of these fights, he could build into it. Like if we finally get to a point where some of these fights are going to be lasting longer, and they should be by all means. Like Jetpacks has continued to accrue in power. That fortified health needs to start counting for something. He absolutely could throw it in, but at the same time, I think a double Solar Blade would actually be totally fine, but we have had that discussion about a Bone Saw as well. Like that armor punctuation, especially since Dark Potato is not bringing forth an Atlas. In fact, it's going to be Keanu to pick it up, but at the 14-minute mark, the Cavalvar has not needed that reflex. I'm not sure he still needs to even think of one here either.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. And a double Solar Blade definitely can pack a punch, but with the amount of armor that G2 have built up, I wonder if it's enough damage to really have the influence. We're going to see some infusions come out, and a bit of a trap in wait as Cavalifar standing inside it. The active camera blows up Kiana Nakoa, but Dark Potato looking to come forward, looking for a bit more damage. Founder goes out, but it's not enough to keep Jetpacks alive, as basically SK left him for dead. And this is something you mentioned right at the beginning of the game might happen, is that, you know, Jetpacks is just left to dead by Cavalifar and Tyras, as they don't really want to be getting into a fight.
There was a lot of fear I felt right there from SK. It's just like, all right, well, Tyrus is coming in, Keanu, they're right there. Okay, we're gonna make some distance. All right, they move forward. We're gonna make some Okay, Jetpacks is dead. Yeah, it's just whoops. Yeah, a little bit right there. But the mortal wounds actually is a big thing from there as well. Hundor just had a lot of freedom to focus down Jetpacks. Just kept reapplying it every time. Almost got that Kraken steal. And that it's not often you get to see like the strategy is kill the Finn. But with this poison shiv, you might actually make something of a decent go at it.
Yeah, especially when there's really no damage being thrown back at you. There's no risk for G2 to continue aggressing on top of it, and the breaking point stacks up so easily on the Finn that you start doing a lot of damage as well. This is go time for SK. We kind of have to see something now. We won't see anything ever. Hellfire Brew gonna fly out and hit onto Hundor. Once more blocked up. Here comes the Kraken. They're standing in an active camo. Do they know it is the question? Can Tyros activate it? Is another.
Keanu.
That's going to be the one shot flying out. The Force Accord missed as well. The Kraken pushing forward as Cavalifar looks to try and find damage. Can't quite do enough to Keanu to find the kill though, but crit definitely there on Cavalifar. This Kraken will go down before the choke point turret is taken on out, so SK do buy themselves a couple more minutes in this game, but really it's G2 the show is this game, and oh my, they are in a bush hiding. Tyras is not going to take the bait. They would have spotted him, they have scout traps, but Tyras decides not to take the risk.
Oh, scout traps, yeah, take a look at the minimap.
Yeah. Contraption. Kiana Nakoa burned it really early on, obviously, against the CP Castro. They're going to walk into this. Oh, Crystal Sentry spotted them. But is it enough? No, Tyrus gets bursted. Oh, Cavalifar gets destroyed. Crystal Sentry tried to save your lives, but you ignored his early warnings. The end is near. The world is ending for Court. The sky is falling, and G2 going to take this choke point turret.
That was... How did he even see them is mystery I think I'm going to hold near and dear to my heart on that one. But G2 cleaving through immediately just dissolved Tyrus right there. But they're not gunning for a game over. They are waiting for this this minion wave to come in. That's a lot of extra seconds here to SK. Will that matter? I'm thinking no.
Well, Cavalifar turrets are up, turrets are falling, but they're pushing them back from this last one. Dark Potato's low, but they're onto it. Hundor's been blown up. He's your sustained damage. That's going to be a Force Accord pulling them in, and Dark Potato's trying to do his best to find the kill onto the Vein Crystal. Pops the Termination Protocol, and it will blow up on top of it, but he gets taken on down. Kiana Nakoa getting sniped, but managed to roll. Ooh, the one shot doesn't quite find its mark, but here's the wall treads. They're going to chase down. Can Kiana Nakoa escape? It's gonna be his mad escape if he can, and he's making the fancy rolls. Merc, he's gonna dip and dive back towards, and it looks like he is gonna get the port back. So seconds, definitely the thing for Kiana Nakoa to survive. But wow, that was almost game over. SK have got a saving grace. What can they make of it?
I'm a little curious if Hundor was as caught off guard as I was when he went down, because his positioning could have definitely been a little bit more southward, a little bit more towards the bottom of the crystal rather than like the side, the northeast quadrant of it. But yeah, losing out Hundor really kind of was the godsend from SK. So they pick up that Kraken, the gold at least from it, and at the same time, you know, there was the defense here on top of it. Not an ideal spot from SK, but at the same time, their gold is still only about 3,000 between them, but because so much of the map is mined up, they have no control over their jungle. It's very hard for these guys to move forward even past this.
Oh, well, they are going to look for a fight here onto Dark Potato. Hundo's coming around the back. He's actually making a V-line straight into the base. He's going to get popped. No, he gets out of the active camo, and Tyraz is caught out. First kill goes their way. Kavalava falls as well. And all is left for Jetpacks to stand still and let G2 do the formality. G2 in week 2 are able to take a 2-0 over SK Gaming. They're going to be walking home victors here today, Forecourt.
So again, this matchup, just today, this 2-0, like not only was it great stuff